Now in today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can upgrade to get the ultimate theater experience in your home with a motorized cabinet. What you're seeing behind me is an invisible screen that rises from a cabinet and gives you an incredible viewing experience. This is from Nothing Projector. And you're going to see how this transforms your viewing experience into a theater experience, as you can see right here. This is a pretty amazing experience, and we're going to take a look at this with three leading projectors on the market. We'll see the Hisense L9Q. We'll also see the Hisense PT1, and we're also going to look at the AWOL projector as well. So we'll see how well these projectors do in this cabinet. So let's get right to it. Now our setup today is pretty unique because we have a cabinet that's closest to the wall right there, and that basically has a projector on it. And then we have right in front of it another laser TV cabinet. But I would not say that this is the ideal cabinet. This is the Shore laser TV cabinet that has a built-in rising screen. This screen, as you can see, is pretty gargantuan inside. Behind it, you have a screen that's 120 inches, and right in front of it, we also have a 120-inch roll-away TV screen. It's actually a black motorized laser TV pack that comes from Nothing Projector. And it really changes, again, the way you really look at content in your home. And what I love about it is that, unlike the one behind that you can see, everything remains visible even when the projector is off. The one in the front, you'll notice that there's not much to it because all you see is this long rectangular object, but you don't see the projector and you don't see the screen. Well, that's about to change. Now, one of the things that sets this setup apart is the fact that there are no tools required for the assembly of this cabinet. This isn't like when you pick up an IKEA cabinet and you have to kind of like spend an hour putting things together. This cabinet comes in three pieces. So what you see right here is one section, you have the middle section, and then you have the left section. But these sections all come together just by placing them together. There's no screws, there's nothing to assemble. Everything comes in really nicely packed and also highly protected. And then it also comes in this great black finish that you see here. I really love the color, and I love the way it kind of contrasts with our room. Now, the front panels that you see right there are all acoustic panels, and they're really, really big too. So you have a lot of storage space. So if you want to have your PlayStation, your Xbox, or you want to hide stuff like I do, you'll probably be able to use those really nicely. Now, you'll notice in the back, and you're going to see this in a couple seconds, we actually have the actual rising projection screen connected. Everything is powered, and the projector is actually found inside of this cabinet, the middle cabinet that you see right there. And you can see a little hint of it because I have the actual cover a little bit raised right there, just so you can see where it stands out. Now, this is going to be compatible with all of the latest projectors that are on the market today. So you basically have what I would consider our picks. The Hisense L9Q, that's going to work with this fine. You also have the Hisense PT1, which is the one that you see right behind it. And also, if you think about the Hisense PX3 Pro, these are all great projectors that are going to be able to use in this setup. And it's not limited to the Hisense line at all, right? So I'm just highlighting some of the ones that we've had in our picks. And it also is going to support like projectors like the AWOL. Matter of fact, I have an AWOL projector inside of that right now. It will also work with the brand new AWOL projector that we hope to have soon on the channel. And guess what? When that comes in, we're going to put it in this setup as well. Now, the whole thing about this, what I really like about it is that, as I mentioned, everything is nicely tucked away. And there are literally just three things to plug in with this cabinet. One is your USB cord that that connects the cabinet to the actual, all of the setup that you see right here. So I basically have the projector connected to a USB cord that's connected to the cabinet. And then I have my wireless dongle that controls the actual screen that will rise, that gets actuated as soon as the projector turns on. So it's a really simple implementation. Matter of fact, outside of powering your projector, all you have is one cable to power. That's it. That's for the cabinet, and that's to give the cabinet, again, the power that it needs to open up the drawer. I'm going to go ahead and power things up so that you can see how the drawer slides out. Now, I have everything connected to my NVIDIA Shield. As soon as I power up my NVIDIA Shield, the cabinet is going to come out. The screen is going to, the projector is going to turn on, and then you hear kind of like the startup motion that you see right there. And again, this is the convenience of having a setup like this. And I just wanted to highlight how fast it is. And again, this, while it seems to be larger than the screen behind, it's the actually same size.
but it just gives you a total different view. So here you can see setup. I could probably do something to work on the alignment a little bit more, but you can see how nice this looks. And what I'll be doing is, by the time we're done with this video, this cabinet is going to replace the cabinet behind there, and it will be in its place. And again, it's going to give me that ability to just tuck away the screen and retrieve it when I need. The other thing I wanted to highlight is that it's relatively quiet. The cabinet itself generates little to no noise. It does have some fans in it keeping your equipment cool, as you can see right there. But what it also then does is, just gives a place where all your cable management is done inside. There's nothing that's exposed. Literally, like I mentioned, I only have, in my case, I only have one power cord coming out. I mentioned that the cabinet just needs one power, but obviously you need to be able to power your projector. So what I do is I have a power strip inside of the cabinet because there's a nice spot for that. And that one power strip cord goes out, and that's all I need. But again, this is what you're going to have going on. Now, this is a rising or a electric rollable screen, right? That is going to do well in a lot of different lighting situations. I'm in a room that has a lot of ambient light. As you guys know, this is like my preferred testing room. But what you get is, again, this kind of visual during the day, and during night, it even gets even better. We basically have, behind me is our kitchen, and what I can tell you is that I can basically see this from the kitchen without a problem. I'm going to go ahead and power this off so you can see what the experience is like. Now, I wanted to give you a different perspective of the actual opening and closing of the projector, and here you can see I have the AWOL connected to it right now. But it does come with a remote control, and actually there's a couple remote controls that come with the projector. There's one remote control that is for the actual screen itself, again, the screen that you have there that goes up and down, but I'm not using it. There's really no need to use it because everything is connected via this little USB dongle that gets connected to the projector that actuates or turns on the actual screen itself. And everything is paired, so you don't have to do anything special to get it to work. Everything is just connected for you. It's literally just plugging in the USB into the projector. But this is the screen actual remote control. Now, the height for this projector is perfect for me, so I don't have to change it, but I could adjust it with this as well. And then the cabinet itself has its own control as well. And the cool thing about this is that if you do power this up, depending on your TV, it will open it up and turn on the TV, or in this case, the projector. What I'm using this for is to set the distance for the drawer. The further the drawer comes out, the larger the image is. The closer it is, the smaller the image is. And there's no memory function. You notice that this button only has up, down, or forward or back. It has, the power button. And literally, when you're doing this, all you're doing is adjusting it to the level that you want it, like where you want the cabinet to open. And then once you power it down, it remembers that, and it keeps that in memory for the entire processing. Now, the actual cabinet itself, you'll notice it's really clean. There's not a lot that you have to worry about, little ones sticking their fingers or grabbing anything like that. It's just really nice and clean. I'm going to go ahead and using my NVIDIA Shield remote, I'm going to go ahead and power it off. So I'm going to put that so you can see it. So here's the remote. I'm going to press the button. Projector turns off. The screen is going to start to come down. Right? And you can hear that going. You can actually see it moving down. You'll notice that the cover is coming up. That cover is going to come out. It's going to pop up. And now the drawer is going to close. And outside of the cabinet, the actual, I would say, screen itself making noise, because you can hear the motors, the cabinet is silent. That is spectacular. Now, in the back of this projector, I do have a little generator that's powering this stuff because I'm going to be moving everything behind it. So ignore that for a second. That's just for this demo. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I want to give you that other perspective, the angle perspective. Press this button. All right, so that powered up. Cabinet is opening. So you can see how smooth everything is right here. It's magical. Every single time you do this, it's magical. Look at that. That's it. Now I'm going to go ahead and pan out for a second so you can see what's going on here. So you'll see how much light is coming in. There's so much light that's blowing out this shot. You can see how bright that light is here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap over here so we can see what's going on here. I'm going to pan and try to get out of that brightness. So you can see despite that brightness coming from that window, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other windows that have that same level of light, you could see the kind of image that we're getting here on the screen. Again, making this, it turns literally any room into a home theater. I've said that about the projector. So when you look at this projector right here, as well as the other projectors that we look at, it definitely changes the actual feel of the room. But this takes it even one step further because it makes it completely invisible. It's an invisible screen type setup. And I'm going to pan a little bit over so I can show you that right there. That is another screen, which would typically be mounted on the wall, but we don't have to mount it in this situation because this one tucks away as we saw here. Pretty spectacular, again, this entire setup. Now the cabinets themselves, I'm going to go ahead and open this up right here. You can see this is the actual acoustic cabinet that I mentioned, the fabric itself. Very nice, has some nice detail. And this is what I like about this cabinet. Most manufacturers have a really nice looking cabinet from the outside. Aesthetics are beautiful, but very few people pay attention to the detail inside. So when you open this up, this has really nice black felt, almost theater, because it kind of gives you like that theater vibe. And then also the actual hinges themselves really are nice and smooth, right? You can actually feel it. It's almost like if you had, and did you see this? I love this part. Watch this. And I know this is going to be kind of geeky, but please humor me. Watch this. Love that? I will tell you, I wish our kitchen cabinets did that. When we first got our cabinets done, they didn't have that little feature. These do, so it doesn't slam. I'm going to do that one more time just for girly giggles. Watch this. Sold. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to give you a view of behind the actual screen, what's going on. So this also is an acoustic screen, it seems, because I can actually see my hand. Let me put it over here. See how you can see right through it right here. So this is really nice, and again, it should be able to allow audio to go through really nicely. As you look at this screen, this is a no-joke screen. Check this out. Look at that hinge system. That is massive, right? Look at the joints right there. This is pretty incredible. What we're going to do is we're going to lower this, and you're going to see how the back portion of this comes together, because I thought that the engineering on this is really nice. And one thing just to highlight, because we're notorious when it comes to misplacing remotes, this does have some physical buttons right here where you can use it to raise and lower the actual screen. Now there's nothing here, there's no dongle outside of power, and that power cord goes into the cabinet. It kind of snakes in so that it's fed through the same power strip that we have. But this is what we're talking about. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower this down so you can see how the actual mechanics work. So we're going to go ahead and press the power button. I'll put this right here, and projector's turning off, and you can see when you look at the top right there, notice how the hinges kind of start collapsing on themselves. Look at that. It's going down, going down. Really smooth. Check that out over there. Boom. That's it. That's it. I removed the projector to give you a sense of what things look like inside. So this is the area, again, that has that little door that raises and lowers. You'll notice that you can remove this bottom plate to be able to support projectors that may be a little bit higher. For example, this is something that you'd remove when you're using the Hisense L9Q because it has kind of a little bump in the back. It does have cooling. You'll notice that even when it's open, it will have the 2 cooling fans that are right here, one here and one there running. Again, all I have connected in this case is this USB dongle that's going to get connected to the projector. This is actually what's controlling the actual screen, right? And this gets paired automatically, and that's all there is to it. In our setup, there's several things that I've changed. I removed the actual cabinet. Now it's over here to the side, so you can see it right here in the corner. And we have the primary cabinet in its place. I'm also now using the Hisense L9Q, and I just wanted to show you the overall video quality with this combined screen. And remember, I did have to remove the actual tray in the bottom because the L9Q is a little bit taller, right? So that's done, and now it can open and close nicely. I'm still needing to do some adjustments on the screen because I see some of the keystoning is over here on the side is just a little off. It has nothing to do with the screen itself. It has to do with just I may need to lower one of the legs on the projector and then do a realignment so that I can get the kind of like the warping off of the screen. But really the focus here is to showcase what it looks like. Again, you can see big color differences, how bright this is, even in daylight, right? You can see what's going on. It's right now 9 a.m. in the morning, and this is the kind of light that's coming in. As the day progresses, it's a little cloudy outside, it will get even brighter, but our brightness level, again, is showcasing how combining the screen, the cabinet, and the projector, you can create a home theater experience, 120-inch home theater experience in any room of your home. Let's go ahead and we're going to power this down, and we're going to start it up again so you can see the actual rising effect. I'm going to go ahead and power up the projector, and as soon as I power up the projector, right, what will end up happening, and there you guys have it right there, what will end up happening is that the actual screen itself will power up, the actual cabinet door will open, and then we're going to be ready to view. Here we go. And again, the only sound that you'll get out of this is going to be the sound of the actual screen coming up, and that's pretty much it, because this one's pretty silent. It's not like the AWOL where you have that boom that starts up. It just pops up. Now, there's a couple things that you could do, and I get this question asked a lot when people are looking at cabinetry or even ultra short throw projectors, and that's the startup process. As you saw, the actual startup process does take some time for a projector. Laser has to come on, you have to load Google, but that's because I started it from a shutdown mode, completely shut down. You could have more of a TV-like experience if you let it in sleep mode. So I just turned off the TV or in this case the projector, just by powering it off. It did not power down. It's just in sleep mode now. If I want to watch TV and just get my content up really quickly, all I have to do is push this button right here, the power button, and just go back to that mode. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and look how fast that was. So you can actually have a TV-like experience simply by putting the projector in sleep, right? It's not a power down, right? So when you can see this right here, this is what you're doing, and simply having an experience that is a lot faster or more closer to what a TV experience is, just by, again, leveraging that sleep mode. And with the sleep mode, you'll notice that my screen remained in up position, so you don't have to worry, and see how fast that was? You don't have to worry about the screen going up and down too, so you can leave this open. We, at times, depending on what's going on in our house, will probably leave it open more than closed.
As I mentioned, this projector setup is the ultimate projector setup, and it's super compatible. L9Q, PT1, or AWOL. And by the way, we'll be testing this actual setup with the new AWOL that should be coming in the next couple weeks. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.